I'll say leadership to me is extremely important. In the military specifically, we've all experienced, I'll just say, bad leadership. It's inevitable, and really good leadership, and taking those qualities of really good leadership and identifying some of the bad ones that you want to avoid and not replicate. And what motivates the team, brings the team together, and unifies kind of the mission and the goal, and two, not being afraid to fail but learn. It can be extremely lonely leading, especially moving into the kind of civilian world, and maybe not having those experiences, but having a network of people that you can kind of balance or bounce challenging situations off of, or new situations that you may find yourself in. And that's one thing that we always kind of try and be honest about and relate is like, you're not the first entrepreneur, you're not the first dad. And we're always consistently learning. We're always a student. It's not like, oh, we're retired Navy SEALs. We know what we know. Like, we'll go back down, Dan Horner, Max Michelle. Like, I was just down with Max. Like, we worked on my stance and my draw from the holster.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting.
Not afraid to go back. Like, this guy's the world's best. Like, and those were two key points. That's like, I got to break, I'll just say some old habits, but it'll make me a lot better in the capability that I want. So again, leaderships, you're always learning. There's always going to be fires. Come to find out that's part of leadership, no matter where you find yourself in and what company or industry or military or team. But being honest and owning it, good and bad, and not trying to glaze over mistakes and communication.
Yeah. Yeah. Not being afraid to be wrong, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, communicating can be challenging, and understanding each individual has ways to communicate that are beneficial, motivating, and ways not to.
Yeah. And the biggest thing between leadership and managing, right? Managing is just kind of managing those people, make sure they stay on task and whatnot. Leadership is growth and development. I had a good troop chief that was like, hey, as a leader, you should be working your way out of a job by how you're mentoring and bringing up the younger generation. Because eventually they're going to be in that spot, whether you like it or not. Like, how prepared are they going to be? Because they're going to be a direct reflection of you. So in a leadership role, it's the same thing. Like, what I'm doing and interacting and how I'm training this guy, because I'm not just managing this guy. I want to train this guy because eventually I'm going to be outdated and I'm going to be out of a job, and he needs to be prepared for that spot with me, and he's continue passing that knowledge down. So as a leader, if I'm not training my replacement every day, that mentality, that I'm failing that person as an individual, and I'm failing the company and the group I'm with. Because there's only one Joey Hahn, right? And I can't last forever as much as I'd love to. But the culture, the mindset, and how things progress should be something that's passable and transferred. So when the next person comes up and he's in my spot, he has that same mentality. Like, all right, I got these young guys underneath me. I got to learn a lot from Joey Hahn now. I got to teach them what I know, what he taught me, and basically every day I'm like, how can I make this guy earn his seat at the table, but also work my way out of a job?
That's awesome.
I think that's a big thing Joey's hitting on, and we've done really bad at it, and we've definitely gotten better at it, and especially civilian and in companies of like we hire a shipping manager, and if he doesn't know how to paint the picture, like we kind of paint the picture for him, like, hey, like you're going to come in as a shipping manager, but we want to get you to ops. If that's where you want to go, and like moving up and like Joey's saying, kind of training that replacement. It's like, if I have an inside sales guy, hey, like if you want to, like we want you to get to VP of sales, and kind of creating a roadmap for them.
That's very cool. And I think that's important because sometimes it takes a leader to recognize what this guy has an aptitude for, or this gal, and they may just be kind of like stuck in a rut, just, well, I'm going to go to work and do this. And then when someone who is their boss or their leader tells them, hey, if you're interested, I think you have the ability to work your way up to this. I think that's great for the organization for sure.